Good afternoon, welcome back, and welcome to those who are following this press conference from Naples and, of course, via the internet. I'm joined, as you can see, by Colonel Roland Lavoie, the military spokesperson of Operation Unified Protector, who will give us the regular briefing on events in Libya. This has been a remarkable week. We have seen Gaddafi's forces lose their grip over towns and cities that they had been threatening for so long. And we have seen people in Tripoli rejoicing as the Gaddafi regime crumbles. They have lived under the threat of violence for decades. Now they can hope for a new beginning. NATO and our partners have conducted a highly effective campaign in support of the Libyan people under the mandate of the United Nations Security Council. Over the past 5 months, we have steadily degraded a war machine built up over more than 40 years. Today we'll pass the milestone of 20,000 sorties flown. We have damaged or destroyed almost 5,000 legitimate military targets, including over 800 tanks and artillery pieces. And we've done so with unprecedented precision and as much care as possible to minimize the risk to civilians. For the Gaddafi regime, this is the final chapter. The end is near, and events are moving fast. What's clear to everybody is that Gaddafi is history, and the sooner he realizes it, the better. The Libyan people should be spared more suffering and more bloodshed. The remnants of the regime are desperate. They may be trying to fight back here and there, but they're fighting a losing battle. The launch last night of another Scud-type missile against Misrata is proof that we cannot drop our guard. This use of an indiscriminate weapon against a city shows beyond doubt why our mission to protect civilians remains necessary. So we cannot drop our guard, and we won't. NATO is committed to our United Nations Security Council commitment and our mandate to protect civilians, and we will keep on implementing it for as long as necessary. This afternoon, ambassadors will meet here at NATO headquarters to take stock of our operation and the situation in Libya. They'll discuss the way forward, and I would expect that they'll also want to look at options for a possible NATO role once this conflict is over. Obviously, I can't prejudge the ambassadors' discussion, but there is a general understanding that any future NATO engagement will be governed by 3 principles. Firstly, the leading role in the post-Gaddafi period in supporting the Libyan people rests with the United Nations and the contact group. NATO will be in a supporting role. Secondly, NATO will have no troops on the ground. And thirdly, any possible NATO future role in Libya, in addition to the current one under Operation Unified Protector, will have to be upon request. Right from the start, the international community has come together to confront the Libyan crisis. NATO is playing a vital role in protecting the people of Libya. We will continue to coordinate with all relevant international actors to bring this crisis to the conclusion that the Libyan people want and deserve. With that, I hand over to Colonel Lavoie in Naples. Roland, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Bonjour, Oana, and welcome to those who are joining us from Brussels and from Naples, of course. We have several people here on a warm August day, so this is noteworthy. In the last few days, we have noticed significant changes, advances and momentum in anti-Gaddafi forces on multiple fronts. In the strategic port city of Brega, in the surrounding of Misrata, in Zlitan, and even in locations that were previously known as pro-Gaddafi resistance pockets, such as Badar. There's no doubt that pro-Gaddafi forces are severely eroded, losing through defections or capture key decision makers, being expelled from strategic military positions, and most importantly, losing the ability to suppress Libyan population in a growing number of cities and villages. The Tripoli uprising is without a doubt an historical milestone, although not yet the last chapter of the Libyan conflict. I would like to stress here that regardless of the latest developments, our military mission has not changed. Our mission remains to protect the civilian population against the threat of attacks and to enforce the arms embargo as well as a no-fly zone as mandated by the United Nations. Let there be no doubt that we will continue to monitor military units and key facilities as we have since March. When we see any threatening moves towards the Libyan people, we will act in accordance with our UN mandate. This has been and continues to be a 24/7 operations. As such, Operation Unified Protector remains in effect. The UN mandate remains valid, and we remain vigilant and determined to protect the people of Libya. We will keep up the pressure until there are no more attacks against civilians, Gaddafi's forces have withdrawn to their base, and full and unimpeded humanitarian access has been ensured. But as a number of areas are still contested, we have to remain vigilant and to continue to protect the civilian population. Most notably, Tripoli is still the site of numerous clashes between pro and anti-Gaddafi forces, and the tension is far from being over. The situation in Tripoli is indeed very, very dynamic and complex, even today, and as we are closely monitoring these developments hour after hours. Outside Tripoli, fighting and acts of aggression still occur in such areas such as Sirte and Sheba, and also in Tajoura, where civilians are uprising and being repressed by indiscriminate shelling. No later than yesterday, a surface-to-surface missile was fired from the southwest of Sirte and landed in the vicinity of Misrata, apparently without any casualties. NATO has also destroyed 2 multiple rocket launchers that were firing from a western position toward the recently freed city of Brega. In sum, our mission is not over yet. As Libyans are taking control of their country, what is left of the pro-Gaddafi military give no sign that they will stop terrifying the population. They are aggressively fighting to keep their control over the coastal axis between Bishir, which is 20 kilometers west of Brega, and Bani Walid, which is southwest of Misrata, and to preserve freedom of movement from Tripoli to Saba, where they have a relatively strong fallback position. We urge them to stop, to return to their bases, and to allow safe and unhindered humanitarian access to all the people in need of assistance. Until this is the case, we will carry on with our mission. Thank you. Could take a few questions.